Hey everyone, welcome to the first video in my F2L Lookahead tutorial series. If you don't know what Lookahead is, or you average between 30 and 20 seconds and don't know how to get better at F2L, this is the video for you. Lookahead is just the skill of predicting what's going to happen in the future of your solve, any number of moves before you actually get to that step. And normally when cubers talk about Lookahead, they're talking specifically about Lookahead in F2L because this is the step where it plays the biggest role, but it can actually apply to the entire solve. In this series, I'm just going to be covering Lookahead in F2L. As a beginner, Lookahead usually just means keeping track of one or two pieces of a future F2L pair while you're solving the current one. As an advanced solver, Lookahead can be as much as planning your cross and 2 or 3 F2L pairs during inspection. So obviously, Lookahead can cover a very wide range of skill sets. At the end of the video, I'm going to give you a secret practice technique that will help you drop your solve times by multiple seconds in just a few weeks, so make sure you stick around till the end. So before we get into the tutorial, I'm going to go over a few prerequisites. Lookahead requires that you're already comfortable with intuitive F2L and that you're pretty comfortable with all of your solutions for all the cases. To test whether you're ready to learn Lookahead or not, do 5 to 10 solves. For each pair, find your two pieces, identify the case that you have, close your eyes, and solve them. If you can get at least 3 out of the 4 pairs correct with your eyes closed for every solve you do, this is the video for you. If not, continue practicing intuitive F2L for a few weeks. It's easier to get good at than you think. So I think the best way to teach you guys Lookahead is just to show you some example solves. So I'm going to do 3 solves. The first one, I'm going to show you how to track the edge pieces. The second one, I'm going to show you how to track your corners. And then for the third solve, if you think you're ready, I'm going to show you how to track both at the same time. So let's get into the example solves. The scrambles will be on the screen so you guys can follow along. So first I'm just going to solve the cross, and I will show you guys the solution just so you can follow along. This is not a cross video, so I'm not going to go into depth on that. But here, first thing I would probably do is rotate to have orange on front, because this was the first pair that I saw. This is the second pair I saw. So I'm going to show you guys how to track this edge while I solve this pair. I'm going to be using my solutions for these F2L pairs, so if you need to pause the video and slow it down and go back just to see what my solution was and compare, you can, but I'm not going to go too in depth on my solutions for these pairs, as this is a video about Lookahead. So my solution for this is just going to be taking this corner out, and then that'll set it up for a 3-move insert, which I can just do. So I'm going to do that slowly, and I'm going to keep my finger on this edge while I do that. So you can see I've solved this pair, and this edge is just back here. Now we look for the corner, and you probably have noticed that it just stayed with the edge the entire time. So to solve this one, I'm going to do this U move, and I'm going to track this edge to be for my next pair. So I'm going to solve it by breaking these up, watching that edge, it goes over here, and then I'm going to insert this pair. Again, this edge is here, and now it's just on this side. So we look for the corner. It's right there. So we can just pair these up, but before we do that, we're going to look for our next edge, and that's back here. So when we pair these up, that takes this edge out of the slot. Now it's here in the front. We look for the corner. It's right here. So we can go ahead and just solve our last pair like we normally would. All right, on to the second scramble. So my cross is going to look like this. And first pair that I saw was this red and blue one. And then I see this orange and blue corner here. that I'm going to keep my eye on while I solve this one. So I'm going to match that up, and that obviously doesn't move this. And I'm going to insert into the back, just so I have a solved pair in the back. It makes the rest of Lookahead a little bit easier. And when I do that, that just takes this corner out of that slot. So I look for the edge, and I see it's right here. So we can match it up, take it out, and put it in. But as I'm doing that, I'm also watching this corner. So it goes here. And then when I insert this pair in the back, the edge or the corner stays there. Now I see that the edge is right next to it, so we're gonna have to break it up. And then this corner is down here. And so breaking it up is not going to affect this corner at all. But when we insert the pair, we're gonna take this corner out at the same time. And the edge for it is here. So we solve that pair like normal. And now for the last scramble. So my cross for this solve, I'm not going to do something super efficient. And here we have a free pair actually. So to insert this, I'm going to do a U move and insert it. But before I do that, I'm going to look at these pieces and watch where they end up. So the corner has moved down to the bottom, the edge is on the top layer now. Insert the pair, and now the corner has just matched up with the edge, which is not a very great case, but I'm going to rotate this way and do it from here. Now, the next pair that I see is this one, so I'm going to keep an eye on those pieces. So now it's like this. And now I'm going to match these two up, but this corner is going to go down like that, but then it'll go right back up. So I'm going to put this in the back, and then these two pieces are going to be right here. So I'm going to solve those, and then keep an eye on these two pieces for my last pair. And now I know that to solve this, I don't need to do any L moves or any B moves. So this piece is just going to stay right here. It's not going to move at all. So kind of a shortcut. I can just watch this corner because I know the edge isn't going to move. So we take that, we pair them up. The corner's right here. So we can go right into taking that one out, and we insert it. So what is that secret practice technique I mentioned earlier? Well, it's called slow solves, and it's exactly what it sounds like. You're just going to do untimed solves where you spend a little bit more mental energy than you normally would to focus on doing exactly what I just showed you in those walkthrough solves. You're going to pick your first pair, and then pick the pieces for your second pair, which you're going to pay really close attention to while you slowly solve your first pair so you can watch where those pieces are going. Before I show you guys an example of slow solves, I want to urge you not to do any timed solves for a few weeks. Now this might sound crazy, but if you want to get better at cubing, it's going to require this sort of discipline and intentional practice. Don't just do random timed throwaway solves because this is just reinforcing bad habits. You're going to feel slower for a few weeks, but that's because you were intentionally slowing yourself down to get better. Just remember that at the end of it, you're going to be much faster because of all of your hard work. So that's it for this video. If you found it useful, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments below. I try to be very responsive. And make sure you subscribe so you'll be among the first to see my intermediate F2L Lookahead tutorial when that comes out. But until then, keep on solving.